Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Amira Such a Doll, or you can call me Amira. Today I am back on demand. So you guys have been requesting for me to give a detailed explanation of every single show that I named in my previous video of top 10 Netflix shows. So in this video I will be explaining my personal top 10 shows from Netflix, and then I'm going to do the suggested 10 that I give you also. So stay tuned. Okay, so to explain the shows, I'm going to give the genre, the description, my own personal rating on like a 1 to 5 scale, and the strengths and weaknesses of the show, or like the good and bad things about the show. So yeah, we can just get right into it. So the first show I named was Friends. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Friends is, but I'll still explain what it is. So Friends is a sitcom. It's about a group of 6 individuals. They're all friends or became friends. And it's just about their every single day life. So it's about, they're in like their 20s when the show first starts. So it starts off in their early 20s, and then the show ends in their 30s. So it's a 10-year span of their lives. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's not really, that's pretty much all I can say about that show. I can't really explain why. I like it so much because it's so relatable. Like, my friends and family would tell you that everything that happens in my life, I'd be like, yo, this reminds me of an episode of Friends. Like, this episode, this happened, and now this is happening. It's like Friends. Like, I relate everything to Friends. That's why I like this show. So that's the strengths of the show, that is very relatable. But the weaknesses of the show, I would say, is the relationships. So what I mean by that is the relationships that, not like the friendships, but like the relationships they had like within each other became weird at some point. So certain people was like messing in like the earlier seasons, and then like towards the end of the seasons, other people in the group was messing with each other. It just became really weird. So that's what I didn't like about it. I also didn't like the character development of the character Joey. So if you know this show, you know Joey's like the dumb one, or ditzy one, which Phoebe is too, but Joey's like the dumb one. So in the earlier seasons, he's dumb, but like he still has common sense. And then like the later seasons of the show, he's dumb and has no common sense at all. So it's like he got dumber over time instead of like getting smarter over time, which makes more sense. So I feel like they did that reverse. So yeah, so they basically, I kind of feel like they was just started writing anything on the show because they was running out of ideas. So that's what I don't like about the show. I tend to watch the first, I want to say season 6 and up, or season 7 and up I usually watch, and there's 10 seasons. So the last couple of seasons, they kind of started doing anything with it. The next show, the OA. Okay, so this is a mystery, drama, sci-fi, fantasy type of show. So it's like all those genres in one. So what happened in the show is this girl, she went missing, and she was missing for 7 years, and then she came back. So the whole show is about her explaining what happened to her during that 7 years. But it does get weird. It's fantasy, it's sci-fi, so that's why in the other video I said it's like kind of like a weird show, because they do some weird things in it. But that's basically what it was about. Oh yeah, I forgot to rate Friends. I give that a 5 still, even though I didn't like the last couple of seasons. In the OA, I give that a 5 as well, because that show is so good. The strengths and weaknesses. The strengths of that show is you will always want to watch the next episode. Like, it's the ending of each episode will have you on the edge of your seat, like, oh my gosh, now I gotta know what happens next. So it's one of those type of shows like where you really just want to keep watching. So I said that's a strength. A weakness of that show is you really have to pay attention. So if you start falling asleep or you start getting on your phone, you will have to rewind it and rewatch what just happened, because one little thing that you miss, you're completely lost. So and plus it's one of those shows where it's like every single detail matters. So it's like even like something as small as like a pencil that she had might connect with some episodes and episodes later. So it's like You gotta pay attention to everything, every detail. I pretty much watched it, I think like 3 times, because I wanted to go back and watch every single detail. Like, I'm really big on setting, I'm really big on theme, I'm really big on everything. I pay attention to every single thing that happens in the show, so I watch it multiple times just to get like the full intent of the show. So that's one of those shows. The next show, Wentworth. My love, I love Wentworth. It's an Australian drama that's based in prison. So basically what happened in the show is this lady, her name is B, she's the main character. She was in a very abusive relationship, like with the guy that she was married to and had a daughter with. He was very abusive, so she wanted to get out of it, but I guess she didn't really have anywhere to go or didn't know who to turn to. So she tried to kill him. So she went to jail for, well, she got charged for attempted murder. So that's what she's in prison for. And the show basically is about all the drama that she gets in while she's in prison. So at first she was like kind of like a shy girl. Obviously, like with her background, she literally just wanted to stay to herself. But as the show goes on, you see why that couldn't happen and why so many things started happening. With Wentworth, definitely give it a 5. What I love about this show is that it makes you feel like you're a part of the family. So in prison, we know how it is, like how the setup is. So like you have like your cellmates within prison, and like the people that you live with become like your family, you feel me? So it's like they became like my family since they became like a family. So that's what I really love about the show. I say that's definitely a strength of the show, is that you really feel like you're part of the family. A weakness I would say is that they started adding in new characters towards the end. Like I want to say during season like 6, and I didn't really like the new characters. Like they added obviously other new characters in other seasons, but like these characters that came in like towards the end, I didn't really like them that much. But the show is so good and the writers are so good that I still watched it anyway, and it still turned out to be a good show. Okay, next show. The following is a crime thriller cult type of show. It's about a serial killer, and he's a part of this like huge cult. But originally they don't know that. They just think it's just one serial killer. So he escapes prison because he was on a killing spree, and he killed he tried to kill this girl, but she got away. So the reason why he escaped prison is because she got away, and he wanted to kill her. Like he needed to kill her to satisfy him. So he escaped prison trying to kill her, and the detectives, they was investigating, like looking for him and all that. So while they were doing that, they realized that he was a part of a cult, and then like the cult was doing some of the killing. Sometimes like he wouldn't even be at the scene while the killing was going on, stuff like that. So that's really a good show. I know like the word cult scares people away, but that is one of the best shows that I've ever watched, and I watched it so long ago. So the fact that I watched it probably like, we in 2020, so I watched it probably 6 years ago. I want to say I watched it like 6 years ago, and that's still one of the best shows I've ever watched. So that tells you a lot about the show. So I definitely give it a 5. Strengths and weaknesses. The strengths I give in that show is plot twists. The plot twists in that show are great. Oh yeah, and it's no longer on Netflix. I checked the Fox app. It's not on Fox either. You will have to pay to watch this show, unfortunately. Whenever it comes available again on Hulu, Netflix, or Prime for free, I'll let you guys know, but you will have to pay for it on Prime if you want to watch the show. The weaknesses of the show is, at some points it becomes unrealistic, like some of the things that happen, like, you know, like you get in situations and then like sometimes it's unrealistic, like how they got out of the situation. I would say that's really the only, you feel me, bad thing about it. So the next one, Sense8. Okay, this is a sci-fi drama, and this is so hard to explain. Even watching it, it's so hard to understand. It's about, how many people was it? 7 people? Was it 8 people? It's about a group of people. I forgot how many people it is. I think it's like 7 of them. Or 8. Might be 8 of them. Okay, whatever. It's about a group of people. And they have this ability. So they were all born the same day, same time, at the exact moment. So they have like a connectedness within them. So they have these abilities which they can basically be in different places while being somewhere else. So their bodies could be like physically here, like say like here in Delaware, but like they can close their eyes and visit each other. So like say I close my eyes and now I'm in India, you feel me? Like they can close their eyes and like visit each other. They can close their eyes and feel what the others are feeling. Like it's a really crazy type of show, but it's very interesting. That's the strength of the show, that is very, very interesting. Yeah, it's really hard to explain. Like you really have to watch it for yourself, but they have abilities within each other and they get to use each other's abilities. So it's like, say one of the characters, say they're stuck in like a situation where someone's trying to shoot them, but like they've never used a gun before. Another person that has used a gun before can visit them and use their ability, you feel me? So it's like it's crazy how the show is, but you really gotta watch it to understand it. But it's definitely a really good show. One of the weaknesses, the only weakness I would say of that show is that it's not popular. Like people do not watch the show, they never heard of it. So after the first season, it wasn't going to get picked back up, but they ended up picking it back up for a second season. Then I really wanted the third season, but they deaded that. But to satisfy the fans, they did like a 1 or 2 hour like finale like a couple years ago. So like that was I like when people really care about their fans. Like they didn't have to do that, but like they did that because they knew that the fans was wanting more. So that's one thing I would say about that show. Next show, Bates Motel. Bates Motel is a horror, drama, mystery, crime. So what the show is about is a mom and a son. Their dad, well, the husband and the dad, he passed away, so they wanted a fresh start. So they moved to a Bates Motel. It's where they rented it out. I mean, they bought it out, so it was a house connected to it. That's where they moved to. They moved to a new city, trying to restart their lives with a fresh start. However, things get crazy and you realize that the mom is keeping mad secrets. I mean secrets even away from the son. So like everything that's going on, like he's not even aware of like what's going on because his mom won't tell him. So she's keeping like mad secrets from him, and like literally as soon as the first episode happens, like you'll see like it gets so crazy so quickly because yeah, the mom is crazy basically. And like the mom and the son, they're so obsessed with each other. Like the mom name is Norma, the son name is Norman. Like they're really connected. All they do is literally love up on each other, surround each other with themselves, and that's really it. Like they're so obsessed with each other. But yeah, I would give it a 4. I'm not gonna give it a 5. I would give it a 4 because I don't like how the last season ended. Matter of fact, why did they even bring the last season? The last season was very pointless. It was so pointless. I don't even remember exactly what happened the last season, but it was a very good show leading up to that last season, so I still would say it's worth the watch. The strength of the show, I would say, is that it's very drama filled, and you know that always keeps your interest when watching the show. It's like if it's a lot of drama, you really be tuned in like that, you feel me? So I would say that's definitely a strength. The next show is Orange is the New Black. Orange is the New Black is a comedy drama and is based in prison as well. So the show is about a woman. Her name is Piper. She went to jail for conspiracy and money laundering. And it starts off about that. And then, you know, like when you enter a prison, like it becomes about your cellmates and everyone that's in prison as well. So you get to see everyone's story and stuff like that, how they got there, what they were doing before that, and all that type of stuff. So it's a good show. I give that a 4 as well, only because like the main character, she's just not to be rude or anything, but she's just a boring white woman. Like she went to jail for something that happened years and years and years and years and years ago. So it's like when she was in her 20s, she was dealing with some girl and she made some mistakes, and then like years and years later she married another guy, was starting a family with him and all that. And everything that she did caught up to her, so she ended up going to prison for that. But at the same time, it's just like, outside of that, her life is just boring. So it's like, I give it a 4 because of that. When it focuses strictly on her, like, you get bored of it a little bit. Okay, so what I would say the strength about this show is perspective. I like how the other people that's in the show, like, you think you get one perspective of them while they're in prison, but I like how they give the backstory of how they were before they were in prison. So it becomes like a relatable type of show, because you be doing everyday things and you get caught up so easily. It's so easy to get arrested for something. It's so easy to get blamed for something, you feel me? So it's like, it's so crazy to see like the other side of things and seeing how they are now. So I really like that about the show. I would say that's a strength. A weakness of the show, I would say sometimes it gets very unrealistic. Like, some of the stuff that be happening, I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, they're in prison, so it's like, it's not much you can do while in prison. And I guess, like, I say that because most people say that because they've never been in prison, but some people that have been in prison, it's some things that happen, and it's like, no, that could happen. But I mean, I guess I wouldn't know, but in my opinion, some of the things were unrealistic. And the seasons are very short. Like, I didn't like that about that, because we wait like a full year for it to come back out, and maybe one short season. But whatever. The next show, Dead to Me, is a dark comedy because it's about okay, I'm just gonna tell you what it's about. So basically, this lady, her husband got killed by a hit and run, and it's not really about her figuring out who did it. I mean, she does become obsessed with it a little bit, like, oh, who killed my husband? But she's not like a detective or anything, so it's like, it's not really about her finding out who did it. It's really about like her life now, and like how she has to adapt to her losing her husband in that way. She has 2 kids. Like, it's really about that. And then like she goes to this support group, and she meets this woman, and like they just like click, they become friends, and then the drama unfolds. So that's how that goes. What did I say is I give it a 5. What I like about it is that even though it's a dark comedy, like I told you guys, I really appreciate setting. So like sometimes, like, I mean, it's literally, sometimes a show is too dark. Like the setting is too dark, and like it brings you down. You don't have the energy for it. Like Bates Motel is a very dark show. Like, it's like the type of colors they use and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't be in a mood for shows like that. So I really like Dead to Me because it's very bright. Even though it's dark comedy, it's not really like a dark show. So like, I don't know, that really matters to me. Like sometimes that really would deter me from watching a show. If it's like dark and I don't feel like I have the energy to watch a dark show, I'm not watching it, you feel me? So it's like, I really like that about the show. It's like very uppity. What I don't like about this show, the only bad thing I can say about this show is nothing. The only thing I can think of that I didn't like about the show is that at some point, like, she had rats in her crib, and I didn't like that because I don't like rats. I hate looking at rats. Rats it's just like nasty and disgusting to me. So it's like, that's the only thing I didn't like about the show. Other than that, I really liked it. It's very interesting. It's very funny, all of that. So, the next show, Workin Moms. It's a Canadian comedy, which a lot of people don't know. People really can't tell like when a show is based in Canada, but I can tell because I study shows. But yeah. It's about motherhood. That's literally the simplest way I could put it. It's about women going through motherhood. It's about different types of motherhood. So it's about a mom that has a working marriage, and a mom that doesn't have a working marriage, and a single mom, and a gay couple that's trying to get a baby. It's about a woman that cheated on her husband, a husband that cheated on the mom, you feel me? So it's about basically motherhood, parenthood, all that stuff, but it's funny. Like, it's literally hilarious. Like, the stuff that happens in it is so funny. I would give it a 5. The strengths of it is that you really get to see like the different type of things that women experience. So that's what I really like about the show. The only thing I don't like about it is that the episodes are very short, and the seasons are very short as well. But sometimes you need like a quick binge. So if you need a quick binge, I would watch that because it's very quick to just go through like that. Because you definitely gonna be wanting to watch they always leave off with a cliffhanger. Even at the season finale, they be doing that. So I'm guessing another season about to happen too. And the last thing on my personal top 10 list is The Returned. It's a supernatural drama. It's about people that died and came back to life, but they came back to life like not in like a zombie way. They came back to life as if they never left. So like, say I died today, you buried me, and then I come back 20 years later, but I literally still look exactly like this. I haven't aged a day, anything. So that's what it's about. And they're trying to figure out like what they came back for. Why are they back? What is the purpose of all that? So that's what the show is about. I would give that show a 5. And one reason why I'm going to give it a 5 is because it has very good acting. Like, the acting in that show is so good. Like, I don't know. I really appreciate the acting in that show. That's what I remember most about it, is that the acting was very good. That's the strength of it. The weaknesses, it was only 1 season. Like, this show came out, like, what, years ago? I'm still mad about it was only 1 season. There's plenty of shows on Netflix that's like this show. So if you type in The Return, other shows going to pop up. But it only had 1 season, and I was just really looking forward to the other seasons because like I was so addicted to the show. It was so good, like but whatever, that's really it. Okay, so then this is the second 10 shows that I suggested previously. I'm gonna try to fly through this as quick as possible because I don't want this video to be long. I'm already at 20 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick to 40, 45. I don't know. Okay, so the next show, Bloodline. Bloodline is a family drama. But when I say family drama, I don't mean like a show that's for family and it has drama in it. I mean like it's about a family that has drama within that family on the show. I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't want you to like try to watch it with little kids or something like that. Definitely not a kid's show. Definitely TVMA. It's a thriller. It's about a family that has like a lot of secrets within them, and the secrets start breaking up the family. Like once everything starts coming out, the secrets break up the family. So that's the gist of it, honestly. I give it a 4. The strengths of it, I would say, is it keeps your interest, definitely, but a weakness of it is sometimes it gets hard to follow. Like I'll rewind it, like did I miss something, or like when did she say something about that? Sometimes it gets a little hard to follow, but I'll just be watching it. Keep going with it, because if I rewind it even like 10 minutes and it didn't say nothing about what just happened and I don't recall what happened, you feel me? I just feel like that's doing too much. So I'm like, at this point I just want to finish it. So that's the bad thing about it. Okay, the next show, Paranoid. It's a British crime drama, and it's about a doctor that was murdered in the park in broad daylight. So basically the show is about investigating her murder. I give it a 5. Sometimes with British TV, they are so far-fetched with like connecting the dots. And what I mean by that is like so like the people that end up being connected to the murder, like in British TV, it'd be like, but why would it have been them? You feel me? Like, so that's what I can say about that, like that show in British TV, like overall, is that a lot of the stuff that they be trying to connect within the show is so far-fetched. It's like it wouldn't even make sense for it to be them, or it wouldn't make sense for that, or like their reasoning behind it. So it's like, oh, I didn't want to get caught cheating on my test, so I killed you, like something like that. You feel me? Like it be doing too much sometimes at times, but I still give it a 5. It was a good show. The lady with the lead role, she did very well. The strengths of the show, I would say, is it's one of those shows where it's like you have to know you want to know the ending no matter what. So it's like you still gonna binge watch it, and that's pretty much it as far as that one. And it's a quick watch. So sometimes, like, I know me, like I used to work a lot. I used to work a lot of hours. So it's like I love to watch TV, but I hate watching shows if I can't like consecutively watch it. So sometimes it's like I just need a quick binge. Like if I have a day off, I want to binge a show and be able to be done it that day. So that's one of those type of shows. Okay, next show, Riverdale. Riverdale is teen drama, so it's based in high school or whatever. And it's based on the Archie comics, which people told me that before I watched it. I'm like, I'm not into comics, so I don't know. But I mean, that might mean something to somebody watching it. So yeah, it's based off Archie comics or whatever. Yeah, so basically what happened is, it's in a high school. So somebody died from the high school, and they were trying to figure out what happened to that boy. And that's basically it. So in trying to figure out what happened to him, the students of the school, they start like looking for answers, and then they start finding out secrets like within a town, because like they're in a small town. So like, you know, in a small town, everyone's like close. So it's like this family had this secret, and this family had that secret, and this, you feel me? So it's like, it's a lot of secrets start coming out within the town, and yeah, it's pretty good though. I would give it a 5, and normally I wouldn't give a TV-14 show a 5, but this show is a 5 because you definitely stay interested. They stay having like a lot of things going on. So the only thing I don't like is that sometimes, well, most times, like, you gotta think, these kids are in high school, and you always have those kids that like talk to their parents disrespectfully, and they go too far with it. But I just feel like everything that they be doing like while in high school, while being teenagers, is things that would never happen as a teenager and as a child, you feel me? So it's like, it don't really be adding up. Like the one joint, she got like a speakeasy, I think. How you got a speakeasy and you in high school? Like, I know your parents rich, but how? Like, that's never going to happen in real life. So sometimes it's just like, okay, that's doing too much, because that would never happen, you feel me? Like, yeah, so I would just say, like, the kids don't act like kids in that show at all, which is like a good thing if you're an adult, but like, still, it be doing too much. And some of the, towards like the end of every season, they be having like musicals, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't really like musicals, so those episodes really be like boring. Next episode. But I think that's all I got to say about that one. Oh, the strengths of that show is I like the different characters in the show. Like, so the main characters of the show, I feel like every one of them is so different from each other, and I really enjoy that about the show, because sometimes you get like those type of shows where it's like they just follow after each other, or like they're trying to be something that they're not, and I just feel like everyone on that show sticks to them being them, and I really like that about the show. The next show is going to be Marcella. Okay, so Marcella is a British detective crime type of show. So it was this detective. She's supposed to be retired, but she was investigating this killer or murderer for like 11 years, and then, but she never found him. So like, he came back to light because one of the things that he does in his murders surfaced again. So they're like, oh, he's back killing again after 11 years. Like, why did he come back? So that triggered her to want to go back to work and do the whole investigating thing again. So it's about that, and that's really it. It's really about just her investigating like who the killer is, finally putting that case to rest and all that. I give it a 4 because the first season was so good, and then the second season they started involving kids. Like I told you just in the last video, they started involving kids, and I don't like shows that involve like kids being killed. You feel me? I mean, they never show like a kid being killed, but like I just didn't like that. What I don't like about this show is that the third season was all over the place. Okay, so when you watch the third season, you would think that they mentioned something in the other seasons. I really went back and started looking at the last couple episodes from the second season, because I'm just like, what? I was so lost when I started watching the third season. It was very all over the place, but I know me saying these things that don't make y'all want to watch it, but it's a good show. Sometimes you get bored and you just want something to watch, so there's that. The strengths of the show is I like that they try to make her out to be the bad guy, but she actually not the bad guy in the show. Like, don't do that. Like, she's a good person, but like bad things just keep happening to her, you feel me? So it's just like she's very misunderstood. She went through a tragedy, you feel me? She was getting back from that. So it's just like, I would say it's a strength about the show that she turned out to be a bad. It's interesting. That's what's good about it. Anyway. The next show is Stranger Things. So that show is a science fiction horror. It's based in the 80s. It's about a group of kids, and one of the kids went missing. So those kids, they took it upon themselves to go look for their friend, and they end up meeting like this strange girl who didn't talk. She couldn't talk. She didn't know words, anything. Like, they just found her like in the woods or something. So they befriended her, and they found out she had like these powers. Like she's telekinesis. She can move things with her mind. That's like her power. And so they like she joins the search and like looking for the friend or whatever. Then like this monster comes and they discover the monster and yeah, all that extra stuff. It's very good. I would give it a 5. What I like about it is that you can watch it with kids. So I don't know about y'all, but I have younger siblings. I have a 14-year-old sister and a 7-year-old sister. So I gotta find things that they can watch while I watch it. So I like that I can watch that with them. But it's a little scary because it's a horror type of show. So that's the strengths of the show. And yeah, there's nothing else I can really say. There's nothing bad I can say about that show, honestly. Yeah, it's very good acting. Winona Ryder is in that genre. I don't know if y'all familiar with Winona Ryder, if you're familiar with like 80s and 90s movies. You're familiar with her. I like her a lot. She's a good actor. I think she wrote some of it. She produced some of the shows. Some of the episodes are like the whole thing. Yeah, I like her. She's very talented. The next show, 7 Seconds. Okay, it's a crime drama. What happens in this show is that a guy, I think he was going to go see his pregnant wife, I want to say. I hope I'm right. But I know that he was driving to go see his wife. I think she's pregnant. I think that's what the rush was about. He accidentally hit something. And I don't think he went back to see what the something was, but he hit something and he just kept driving. So it was a hit and run situation. Or he might have known that he did hit the kid and he tried to cover it up. It was trying to get covered up regardless. So yeah. Is it really about that and the family trying to figure out what's going on? They do the whole investigation and all of that. Feel me? Trying to figure out what happened to their son. So that's what the show is about. I give it a 5. The strengths of the show is great known actors. Regina King is in that joint. You feel me? That's my baby. And when I say that, okay, I'm gonna say the next guy. You're not gonna know who he is by his name, but his name is Russell Hornsby, and he played in. What did he play in? He played in Lincoln Heights. He played in The Hate You Give, and he played in Fences. So he's like, the thing is, he's such a good actor, but it's sometimes like people, you don't know them by their names. That's why I had to give like the examples. But he was the dad on The Hate You Give, the dad on Lincoln Heights, and I forgot what character. I think he was I forgot who he played in Fences, but he definitely was in Fences as well. And so yeah, that's all that is for that one. The next one is the 4400. Okay, the 4400 is a science fiction. What happens in the show, I already explained this, so I'm gonna explain it again. What happens in the show is that it's like a whole bunch of, it's 4,400 people that randomly disappear. And they don't all disappear at once. So some of them disappeared hundreds of years ago. Some disappeared 2 weeks ago, you feel me? Like, so it's like a big span of when it disappeared, but they all came back on the same day. Okay? So, but they came back with different abilities. So some of them, one of them, I know their ability was to heal people. Another one, their ability was to read minds. Another one was like a lie detector, like stuff like that, you feel me? So they all came back with different abilities. So the whole show is just about like, what was the purpose, who took them, what was the purpose of them being taken, what was the purpose of their abilities and all that. I would give this show a 4 because it was things in the show that happened that didn't make sense. So I think like 1 or 2 of the characters like just disappeared off the show completely, and I didn't really know what happened with them. I'm like, okay, so what happened to that character? Because, you feel me? I don't like that. I hate stuff like that. Yeah, I hate unexplained stuff in a show. So that's, yeah. Another thing about the show is it's very old. So I think it's like early 2000s. So it's like some of the, I don't like the old graphics that's used in shows, like when they get shot, when they're bleeding. I don't know. I pay attention to everything. So it's like, I know like when a scene is being changed. I know if they're missing something that was in one scene and it's not in the next scene. Like, I know, like, you feel me? I know like if their lips are saying one thing and the voiceover is saying another thing, like stuff like that. And it's like, that's very common when you're watching older shows because they don't have the technology we have today. So it's like, that's for me is one of the weaknesses. And oh my gosh, I'm making the show sound so bad, but I really enjoyed it. But I didn't like the ending. Like, I just didn't like the ending. The ending was just like, it was like a cliffhanger, and I'm not gonna spoil the show. I just didn't like the ending. That's all I'm gonna say. And okay, so last time I didn't mention this show, but as I was saying this to you guys last time, I'm talking about the 4400. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't mention the 100, which I thought it was called the 100 because I never used to watch the theme song. I didn't realize it's called the 100. So I forgot to mention the 100 to you guys. I love the 100. That's such a good show. Okay, so the 100 is about, it's an I always stutter on this word. Apocalyptic. It's an apocalyptic science fiction drama. So what happened was the world became inhabitable. So a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people took a spaceship up to space and left the Earth because they could no longer live there. So that was, I think, like 97 years passed, and they wanted to see if Earth was livable again. So they were too scared to risk their lives, so they took like the people that were in jail on the ship and put them on Earth. They just threw them on there, and like, so it was 100 people they put down there that was in jail or whatever, to see that if it was livable again. I guess like that was like their second chance of life. But if it was unable to be lived on, why would they? Like, I hate when people think like just because you did something bad you don't deserve to live no more. Anyway, but so once they get there, you'll see the first episode. They discover other people that have been living there. You feel me? And that becomes a whole thing. You feel me? So it's like it's all about them trying to live back on Earth, basically. I give it a 4.5. What I liked about the show is that they had to become savages because the people that they ran into were savages. So that was just like craziness. It was just like a whole bunch of commotion. I really like that about the show, is that they really had to bend who they were in order to adapt to living on Earth again. Oh, what I don't like about the show is that it's too many seasons. Okay, not saying like I don't want the seasons, but this is one of the shows where I didn't want it, because where the show had ended at in season 5, I think they're literally airing a season 7 right now. I watched season 6 because it's just like, okay, I already watched the first 5 seasons, like it's only right that I watched the 6th season, but I literally forced myself to watch the 6th season because I had already watched the 5th season. So it's just like, I already watched the other seasons, so it's like might as well see what it's hitting for, you feel me? Like, might as well see. So I watched the 6th season, but I'm really not interested in the 7th season. So it's just like, they should have just ended it on the 5th season. When I heard the 6th season was coming out, I was irritated by that. I'm just like, why? Like, I hate when people gotta mess with something when it's already good. Like, it already ended well, you feel me? So it's like, I feel like there was nothing they could do to bring the show further than what it already was. Which, yeah, they end up doing the most. So that's all I can say about it. I'm still gonna watch the 7th season though, but I wish they ended it at the 5th season. The next show, All American. It's a sports drama based in high school. So it's about a high school football player, and basically he lives in Crenshaw and he wants to play football in Beverly Hills. Or I think originally he don't want to play over there, but I think his mom want him to, something like that. But yeah, it's really just about that. That's basically it. It was Crenshaw versus Beverly Hills. That's what the whole show is about their high schools, feel me, about their families. It's literally like the hood versus the suburbs, you feel me? That's what the whole show is about, and that's really all I can say about that. I would give it a 4, and you already know what I'm about to say. It's TV-14. So the weakness of the show is that it has petty drama. I hate petty drama. That's it. I'm gonna just say it like that. I just hate petty drama, like on TV shows. It's like, I just want more. And it's like, I know that they're supposed to be in high school, so it's like, but like some of the stuff, it's like, I promise you, if you feel me, if you slap me or something, I'm not gonna be like, you know, we're not friends anymore. Like, I'm not, you feel me? That's like some TV-14 stuff, you feel me? I don't like that. I'd rather be like, yo, I'd rather them smack them back, something, like, get in their face, something, say, why I'm about to go get my sister. So you really like, I be wanting more from the shows. That's why I don't really do the TV-14. I told y'all, my boyfriend literally forced me to finish All American because I was about to be done with it because I was just getting irritated by the drama. But it's still a good show. And this, how about to say the pros and cons? the strength of the show is the black cast. Clearly, I love that it's basically like an all black cast. Like, yes. The next show, On My Block, it's a teen comedy drama. It's about 4 kids like entering high school, but like they're from like a rough city. That's really it. So it's just like the coming of age type of show, and they get involved in like a lot of drama and stuff like that. That's really all the show is about. It's a good show. I would give it a 4 because obviously they have childish moments, but what I like about the show is that when the moments are serious, they're very relatable. So that's what I like about the show. Nurse Jackie, I already piped this one up. Nurse Jackie is about, it's a medical drama comedy about a drug addict nurse. So basically what the show is about, a nurse that's living a double life. Like, she pretends to be one person at home and she's a whole other person when she's at work. That's literally it. So it's about her balancing her 2 lives. And I give it a 5. I can't really give the strengths and weaknesses of it because I'm still currently watching this show. But what I don't like about the show so far, the only thing I really don't like about it is that every episode doesn't piggyback off the previous episode. Which they used to do that a lot back in the day. And they do that a lot with like science fiction type shows too. But like, this is not science fiction, so I don't really like that it don't piggyback off the previous episode, because it just be like something that happened in episode 1 where we would come back up literally like 7 episodes later. So I feel like that's kind of weird, but they always give you the previously, so it's gonna remind you what's about to happen, what is about to come up in the next episode. So that's really and the episodes are short. They're like 20-some minutes, little short johns. We're so spoiled nowadays because we're used to shows that's like an hour long. But like back in the days, they didn't do that. It was like 30 minutes, and it was 30 minutes with commercials. Without commercials, it's like a little over 20 minutes. Feel me? So it's like we're very spoiled now. I can tell you I'm spoiled. That's why when it's like 20 minutes, I'm like, but sometimes that could be a good thing. Like if maybe you waiting for something, you want to watch a quick 20-minute episode, you feel me? So it's a pro and a con. Okay, my honorable mentions, I'm gonna do them real quick. Okay, I think I'm gonna be under 45 minutes. We're gonna be good. Okay, Dr. Foster. I already basically told y'all what all of these was about, but I'm gonna just say it again, just in case y'all didn't watch the other video. And I'm gonna leave it in a link down below, the first bit. Dr. Foster, it's a British drama, and what's going on in this show is basically the woman, she's suspecting that her husband is cheating on her. So she's doing her own investigation, trying to figure out if he's cheating or not, and also trying to remain calm, trying to remain happy, trying to make the best decisions because they have a kid together, you feel me? So it's like, especially like when you're in a marriage, people think it's so like quick to exit a marriage because you can just divorce each other, but it's not that simple. So it's like, you see like the ups and downs she goes through with trying to figure out if she want to be with him, if she don't want to be with him, is he cheating, is he not cheating, you feel me? So that's what the show is about. I give it a 5. Okay, so then the strengths of the show is it's very realistic, and I told y'all this before. It's very realistic. So if you don't like shows that stick to what would happen in the real world, just don't watch it. Like if you want, you feel me? If you just want a pretty happy ending, just don't watch it. You feel me? Because it's just not a show for you. But that's what I love about the show. That's definitely a strength. What I don't like about the show, I don't like the character of the son in the show, because I just don't think how he felt about certain things like that would happen in real life. So I feel like they kind of did too much with him, like as far as his emotions and what he was feeling and what he was thinking. They did too much with that. They dragged it, you feel me? Like I'm just like, nah, that's not, I don't think, you feel me? Because it's just like at the end of the day, like it's something about a mother and son relationship that certain things just wouldn't happen, in my opinion, you feel me? I mean, everybody not a mama's boy, but I just feel like there's a certain connection that mothers have with their sons. So it's just like certain things wouldn't happen, you feel me? So that's what I don't, that's the only thing I don't like about it. Okay, the next show is a thriller. Oh, I'm just gonna start explaining it. What show is it? What show is it, Amira? Okay, so the show is What If. It's a thriller drama Okay, I'm gonna read the exact sentence I wrote because I really want to, you feel me? So basically, this woman, she promises to make this other woman's, I forgot her name. I can't use names because I forgot their names. So basically, it's a couple, and a woman. She comes into the wife's life, and she tells the wife, "Oh, I will make all your dreams come true if you just give me a night with your husband." So she's not specific on what she want from her husband. So it could be that she want like, it could be like we don't know what he did. So he could have killed somebody. They could have slept together. He could have smacked somebody. He could have ran somebody over. He could have delivered money to somebody. He could have delivered a message to somebody. You feel me? We don't know what happened. She don't know what she was asking of her husband to do, and she had to sign a contract stating that the husband could never tell her what happened that night. You feel me? So it's like, yo, that's never happening. That's never happening. You feel me? Like, nah, what happened though? That's what I feel like, no, but what happened though, for real? I'm like, you not about to be what you did. Like, what did you do? So yeah, that John, it really make you feel like, yo, what happened? Like, you definitely want to know. So yeah, that's what the show was about. What I don't like about this show, I would say, it had a weird ending. That's it. I'm gonna just say it like that. It had a weird ending. What I do like about the show, like I said, sometimes you want a quick binge. It's a quick binge. That's what I like about it. And I like that. I like that it literally keeps you interested and keep you watching. Yeah. Okay, the last show is Wanted. So this is an Australian drama. I'm gonna say crime too, because there was some crime going on in that joint. So what this show is about, it's about two very different women. Like, you know how people are just opposites? Yeah, it's about two very different women. They're standing at a bus stop waiting for the bus, and a car crashes like right in front of them. I think it probably crashed into like the sign or the bus stop or something. Crashed right, you feel me, right in front of their eyes. So like they like, oh my god, a car just crashed. But literally right after that, a car pulled up, two bulls popped out, jumped out, feel me, boom, killed bull that was in the car. So even if he was dead from the crash, they had to make sure bull was dead, shot him, feel me. So then they're watching this, so the women are like scared, you feel me. So the one woman, she goes into panic because like I guess like he probably pointed the gun at them too, because y'all just witnessed me murder somebody, so now I gotta kill y'all. So then they end up trying to tussle and rumble for the gun. The one John, she said, "Bah!" Killed bull. So now they're part of a murder. They was already involved in it because they was there, but now they just killed somebody. So now they're on the run. They're on the run. Now they're on the run together. So these women that don't know each other, they're literally strangers. They're complete opposites of each other. They're on the run together. You feel me? So that's what the show's about. It's good. What? Okay, I give it a 4.5. What I don't like about this show, I don't want to say too much. All I want to say is that this is the type of show that you need a happy ending for you to be satisfied, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't know if that's a good thing, bad thing, whatever. That's all I'm going to say, is that it has to have a happy ending. And I'm pretty sure they might have a another season coming. I'm gonna look that up and put it in the description. Anyway, that brings me to the end of my video. So if you like my video, give it a bad thumbs up, subscribe, turn my notification bell on so you can know when I post another video, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.